4 things preppers should be doing now. Hey everybody, I'm Michael with Asymmetrical Preparedness, and today I'd like to cover these 4 top items I feel that preppers really need to be doing right now. Stick around to the end of the video, I'll save the best one for last. And I feel the most important one for last. But let's get into it. What are some things that we as preppers should be doing? I mean, there's the obvious, stockpiling food, water, supplies, all that kind of stuff. And along with that is, always working on gaining our skills and stuff. That's very important. But today I'd like to talk about 4 things that will help you be better prepared for a real world situation. Before we get into the meat and potatoes of the video, I really got to cover a vital prep. Jase Medical, Jase cases, a whole list of prescription medications prescribed to you from their doctors. Great deal. You gotta have antibiotics. You can get some antibiotics from pet stores, some pet stores, but prescribed to you from their doctors, a lot of stuff you can't get in other locations. You gotta check it out. You gotta have antibiotics. Link in the description below, coupon code asymmetrical10. This is a company I feel very, very strongly about. You gotta have medical along with all the things we're gonna talk about in this video. The first one being exercise. Yes, I know, I just lost a bunch of people because they're like, oh, I don't wanna hear that. People don't really wanna put in the real work. And I know that. I know that people just wanna hear fear. They wanna be sold fear. What's going on next? The world is falling, the sky is falling, the world is ending, SHTF, WROLTO, TWACI, we're all gonna die. Yeah, that's what people wanna hear. But seriously, exercise is one of the best things you can do for your body. Getting physically fit. Why? Because it's good for your health. It enables you to be able to do the things. Anything, whether it's out here gardening in my garden, whether it's running around doing tactical training, whether it's patrolling, whether it's playing with my kids, whatever. It's good for your health. It's good for your ability to perform any needed task. Do you need to move all your food storage from one location to another, or haul a bunch of water, from the lake, from the river, whatever it may be? Well, you may want to be physically fit to be able to do that. One thing I can guarantee you is that no warrior in a combat situation ever said, wow, I'm too fit, right? You can never be too fit. And fitness, there's different levels of it, of course. If you're in a wheelchair, obviously you're not gonna be a marathon runner. But common sense fitness, everybody can be more fit, more healthy, eating right, and exercising. Enough of that though. All right. What is the next thing I think people, preppers, need to be doing right now? And that is growing your own food and raising your own animals. Like you see here, growing my own food. Yes, I grow my own food. I have a pretty decent garden. Haven't been like really into gardening this year or something, I don't know. It just wasn't like a big thing for me this year. But I have a garden and we're putting the food up for food storage, which that's one of the things, like I said, goes hand in hand with prepping. Of course, we're setting up our food storage, our water storage. But gardening, growing your own food isn't just about saying, hey, I have some seeds set aside. When, SHTF happens, I'll just plant them and grow a garden. No. Unless you're a master gardener, you've done it, you grew up all your life and you know exactly what to do. There's a learning curve. I'm learning all the time. I am not by any stretch of the imagination a master gardener. Not even close. I'm learning every single year, and I've been doing it for quite a few years, and every single year I still learn a lot about gardening and about producing more food in the amount of space that I have. So you can't just say, I have a bunch of seeds, SHTF happens, I'm gonna become a master gardener. Just like I can't have a bunch of medical supplies laying around saying, hey, when SHTF happens, I'm just gonna go, I'll be an EMT because, I got the supplies. No, you gotta have it up here. You got to get your hands dirty. You got to know how to do it. You got to get the practical training. Raising your own animals. I don't currently do that, but everybody around me does. And one of my good friends from my homesteading group, my tactical training group, he has a lot of animals. He has a farm with a lot of animals. So he produces way more than 100% of their protein every year. Way more than 100% of their protein. And I produce, I would say, yeah, at least 100% of our vegetables if we needed to live off of them. Obviously, there's stuff we buy at the store still because, you know, we're still in the normal environment, but that stuff is being put up for food storage. So raising your own animals and growing your own food, being as self-reliant as possible. The whole thing I've said many times, because one of the other topics I'm going to get into in just a minute is that M word, you know, the guys in the, you know, uniforms and the, you know, the tactical stuff, running around training in groups and stuff like that around the United States. Yeah, that 2A thing. Those kind of people, homesteaders and preppers, need to be like this. If those three organizations, those three groups of people banded together, bugged out together, whatever it may be, in a compound, in a situation, SHTF, man, that is the perfect combination. Because preppers stockpile, homesteaders do all the practical growing and providing, and then the M guys can provide security, tactical training, all the other stuff. That is a great combination. Speaking of which, tactical training, I just said that, didn't I? Now I get it, if you're too young, or you're too old, or you're physically incapable of doing so, or you just don't have the desire to do so, then this may not apply to you. But tactical training is vitally important. If you feel that you might be one of those people that could fulfill that role, even if it's in sitting in LPOP, listening post, observation post, or a fixed fighting position in defense of your family and or other families, which the other families and stuff, we'll get to that in a minute too. That's coming up. That will be number 4, and I may throw in a bonus, but having the ability to effectively employ a weapon system in a variety of situations, being physically fit, like I mentioned, enough to be able to go out there and do the things, and to have that tactical training and knowledge, I feel is very important. And it's not for everybody. I get it. A lot of people get into prepping via the tactical world, you know, the pew-pew world. That's how I did. That's how I got into prepping, because I was into that stuff, and then I saw the writing on the wall, and I'm like, oh, I should probably have food and other stuff like that, because, you know, all this other cool stuff, cool guy stuff, isn't going to do me much good if I don't have any food and water and stuff like that. That's where I think the M guys fail sometimes, because they go all in that area, but they don't necessarily cover the preparedness aspect. The food, water, medical, all that stuff. They probably do a little bit of medical because, you know, IFACs and all this stuff like that, but there's a lot more to medical than just an IFAC. Speaking of tactical, we're talking about tactical stuff in this video, tactical training. But if you need some gear, check out Condor Outdoors. Link in the description below, coupon code AP15. Great quality gear for a lot less money from those big brands. I'm serious. It's budget gear, but man, it performs. I've been running Condor gear for 12 plus years now, and I've had 2 failures. One of those little plastic buckles cracked. All I had to do is throw in a replacement one from Condor. It cost me like 10 bucks. And the other thing was the way I was wearing my plate carrier, it started getting a little cut in the strap. And so I just had to sew that up really quick. No big deal. Condor gear is great gear. Check it out if you want to get equipped for being a Minuteman, tactical prepper, whatever you want to call it. Tactical training, being able to, like I said, effectively use a rifle, a handgun, a shotgun, whatever it may be, in defense of yourself or others. Hopefully just defensive. Maybe someday it may end up in being an offensive situation. Because us as Americans, that's our birthright. Actually, everybody in the world, that's their birthright. It's just our birthright is supposed to be protected by the Constitution. Yeah, it's supposed to be. But, yes, protecting our nation against enemies, foreign and domestic. Oh, domestic. Oh, yeah. That may be coming up here very shortly. Even worse than it already is now. Whew. Yeah. Things are about to get crazy, I think. Anyway, tactical training. Let's get into number 4, which I feel is probably the most important thing. That's why I saved it for last. Number 4 is having a group. Mutual assistance group, tribe, clan, crew, whatever you want to call it. Vitally important. Vitally important. It doesn't matter how good you are tactically. It doesn't matter how well prepared you are. It doesn't matter how much food you grow, how many animals you raise. None of that matters if you can't even set a 4-point proper security on your location. And 4 points just bare minimum. It takes people. It takes different skill sets. I don't know everything. I can't protect my property. I can't do everything I need to do because I only know what I know. That's why I have tribe. We all have various skill sets. I have an awesome tribe. I have several tribes, actually, that have different, emphases. But you need medical professionals. You need guys that can weld or women that can weld. You need people that can grow food, raise animals. You need the tactical people. You need so many different skill sets in an SHTF scenario if it is a big event where you're gathered together as a tribe and you're taking care of each other and you're providing for each other and your families. Vitally important. Get out and build a tribe. It is difficult, but it's not impossible. Go to areas where preppers might be. The food storage area of Walmart, the Augustin Farm stuff, the camping sections of stores, gun ranges, gun stores. There's a lot of places you can meet preppers. I meet a lot of them in the overlanding community. There's a lot of crossovers out there. But anyway, you got to have a group because in an SHTF scenario, like I said, you can't do everything yourself. Vitally important. And groups, one thing I would like to say about groups is everybody in your group, you don't limit yourself thinking that you're only going to talk to people that are going to be inner circle. No, you can have inner circle. Then you can have different layers of circles depending on trust, knowledge of the individual, time that you've known them, etc. Core inner circle is very important, but the other layers are also very important because they can play a vital role. And a lot of those people, in those different rings may eventually pull together into a even stronger core group in a bad scenario. There may also be people you'll figure out that, hey, they're not going to cut it because, they're going crazy right now. But anyway, get out there, get fit, grow your own food or learn to, or raise your own animals, train tactically if you can, and definitely work on your group. Definitely have a group. Do everything you can to build those relationships with people around you in your community. Have a wonderful day, and blessings to you and yours.